Let's cross to France 24's Yuka Royer, who joins me from where it's all happening at the Longchamp race course. Yuka, a corporation's growing impatient with this state of limbo.
Well, exactly. They're very impatient. The head of Medef said that the political uncertainty has dampened France's business activities over the summer. It's not a good thing. And this is the biggest convention, annual convention of France's main business lobby. So it's, as usual, it's buzzing with people, with thousands attending. But this year, with President Macron under intense pressure, obviously, to name a new prime minister, it's a little different. Last year, for instance, the then Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne was the guest of honor on the opening day. This year, Economy Minister Bruno Le Maire was the only member of the outgoing government who attended the first day of the meeting, and he didn't give a speech. He didn't take to the podium. Instead, Medef's president, Patrick Martin, during his opening remarks, asked the audience to give a round of applause to the outgoing economy minister, as he praised the pro-business policies of the past 7 years of the government, especially the tax reform. And he is describing that as taking France into the right direction. Now, at the same time, he lashed out at some economic promises of the leftist coalition, the New Popular Front, including raising the minimum wage to €1,600 a month and cancelling President Macron's pension reform and bringing the retirement age back down to 60. He said that Medef should exercise the positive power that the organisation has and extend influence, and also calling to reset the current system of social protection. Let's take a listen to what he had to say in his opening remark.
It's unprecedented. In the history of Medef, it's even greater evidence of our theme, power, and of the overall political panorama of our country. Panorama that is unprecedented, fractured and worrying, but one where, fortunately, our parliament is regaining a more central role.
So uncertainty, Yuka, domestically, but also globally.
That's right. Well, there's a lot of geopolitical tensions, of course, with two wars waiting on Europe's doorstep, and trade tensions rising between China and the US, but also the EU. Businesses and companies, large and small, are facing additional challenges. With me to discuss more is Boris Lombard. He is the president of KSB. It's a German multinational manufacturer of valves and pumps. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Yuka.
Good evening. Now, last few years have been tumultuous for businesses, large and small, including your company. First there was the COVID crisis, then Russia invaded Ukraine, so the whole business climate has changed for many sectors, including industry. How have you adapted?
I think we have changed the mindset in industry tremendously. We are now integrating in our policies the fact that the world is changing very fast, the fact that we need to adapt to these changes. We need to be very much, agile and follow up the operational team in a much closer way. And that's basically business as usual today to adapt to these fast-changing environment.
Business as usual, but then again, how have you changed? I mean, you went towards more regionalization when protectionism at the same time is rising around the world.
Regionalization is not new in the world. It started, I think, about 10 years ago with the emergence of new competitors, particularly in China. So that's a trend that is ongoing, but that trend has accelerated with the COVID and the crisis, because we have to be careful not to be too vulnerable to these crises, for example, supply chain disruption that may happen. And yes, there are a lot of factors that push towards regionalization. That's part of the measures that we have taken. This is also pushed by the fact that we want to reduce carbon footprint. And basically, we're relying now on supply chains which are in the vicinity of our factories more than before. That's one of the measures that we definitely have taken.
Now, here in France, the pro-business stance of President Macron's government the last 7 years have provided a lot of opportunities, I guess, and a favourable environment. How are you bracing for a new reality going forward?
I think we have to continue with the pro-business policies that have been implemented in the last 10 years in the country. France has attracted the largest number of investments in Europe for the last 5 years, and it has to continue. Reindustrialization of the country has started again. It's very fragile. I think we have to be very careful not to destroy the climate of trust that has emerged in that country in the last years. So we hope that whatever the next government is going to be, that very pro-business environment will continue in the country for the years to come.
Thank you so much, Boris Lombard. And that's it from me from Longchamp Racecourse.
All right, many thanks. Yuka Royer attending the